Greetings and welcome to The End. Last week, this week, and next week, the podcast companion to The End, the weekly newsletter that shines a light back on audio fiction shows when they've reached the finale of a season or the conclusion of the series. I am your host and the curator of The End, Evo Terra. And if you've never heard of The End, well, then this podcast is going to be a lot confusing for you. You can fix that by going to theend.fyi and subscribing to the newsletter. It's free. You're going to get all the links, the artwork, listening times, and more, so you can put away the notepad and just listen. And yes, I'll stop saying this in a few more episodes, so fear not. Let's get into it, shall we? Today's issue of The End, the 24th, has 7 shows in the recently completed section, and 4 of them wrapped
last week.
The first is Station 151, a dramatized science fiction story from Pale Matter. They released the finale to their first season on the 14th of February. There are 11 episodes in the season, which will take you 3 hours and 45 minutes to listen to. Episodes of the second season are slated to start in June of this year. 2 days before that, And Worms Do Not Destroy, a dramatized fantasy from William J. Mayer, reached the end of their 6-part show. Listen to the entire story in 3 hours and 3 minutes. Subsister, a real podcast, is a dramatized sci-fi mystery from Zephram Studios that posted its first season finale on the 10th of February. Listen to the story so far in only 3 hours and 47 minutes. Season 2 starts in early 2024. And Social Distancing, a dramatized romance from Chetan Bhagat, dropped all 12 episodes of the entire tale on the 9th of February. It's an Audible exclusive that'll take you 3 hours and 43 minutes to listen to.
This week.
And every week, I make 2 personal recommendations for great audio fiction I personally love. The first is an exceptionally well-acted and produced show from Q Code that stars Demi Moore. Yes, that Demi Moore. It's called Dirty Diana. There's no trailer. What the heck, Q Code? So here's a bit from the first episode.
Q Code presents Dirty Diana, created by Shauna Festi, starring and produced by Demi Moore.
Is this okay? It really helps with the noise.
Sure, yeah, of course, yeah. And maybe some more water. Sorry, I didn't think I'd get nervous.
No, don't be sorry at all.
I brought you a candle. I have no idea why I thought I'd bring you a hostess gift, but I did.
Well, I think it's really nice. Thank you.
Okay, I'm ready.
Great. All right. We're recording.
Would you mind if I used a different name?
Sure, you can use whatever name you like.
I was always Liz when I played house as a kid, because Jasmine was too different, especially in the 80s when everyone's Jessica or Heather.
Well, Liz, it is. And if you could just tell me how old you are.
I'm 43. My fantasy's borderline ridiculous. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Most of them are. Okay, so what's your fantasy?
I'm taking the train to visit my sister in Portland. I'm reading The Unbearable Lightness of Being, which always makes me blush. And as I finish the chapter, I can feel someone staring at me. And I look up from my book, and I almost lose my breath. It's a young version of my husband. The man I met when I was 22, when he had a full head of hair, and his eyes were filled with mischief.
Dirty Diana is complete with 6 episodes and a total listening time of 4 hours and 22 minutes. One of the most creative ongoing series with exceedingly well-done scoring, Old Gods of Appalachia, recently wrapped its 3rd season and is gearing up to release Season 4 this summer. It's a narrated horror anthology from Deep Nerd Media, and astute listeners will remember that I featured the title in the 3rd issue of The End. And yes, I'm doing it again. It's that good, and it's my newsletter. It has no trailer, Seriously, creators, make trailers for your series and seasons. So here's a clip from the prologue.
Appalachia. A word stolen from more than one language, it conjures images of the beauty of God's creation and the darkness of man's various poverties. The simpler way of life here bespeaks a time past of purity and piety, but turn over a stone. You'll find the underbelly of suspicion and clannishness. Folk who live here don't trust easy. There are whole graveyards full of what we've learned about outsiders. And before you judge us as backwood hillbillies or opioid-addicted rednecks, take a minute to understand how we got here. I mean how we really got here. There are places in this world that humanity was never supposed to see. Walled in by mountains of burning black rock, isolated by a choking canopy of poison flora, woods where tooth, claw, and hunger still sit atop the food chain, long before our kind ever set foot in these mountains, when the peaks of the Blue Ridge towered above the stars and the heart of the plateau still rolled with ridges tough as pine knobs, and darkness was brought here, in cages made of fear. Our tongues do not have the shape to speak the true names of what they are. And that's are, not were. They are hunger, consumption, lust, all the things that settle under the heart and below the ribcage. They are the cancer that will one day eat the edges of this universe and leave nothing in its place. They are not evil. They are not of hell or the Christian devil. They simply are.
Catch up on all 50 episodes of Old Gods of Appalachia in only 27 hours and 15 minutes, or longer if you choose to listen to the miniseries and the one-offs, which I recommend you do.
Next week.
The latest issue of The End only highlights a single show returning with a new season coming soon, and it doesn't actually return until March 1st, which rather breaks the next week theme, but since it's the only one, I'm going to tell you about it. Unwell, a Midwestern Gothic mystery from Heartlife NFP, will start its 5th season on March the 1st. Catch up with all 48 prior episodes in 26 hours. And that's it for this episode of The End last week, this week, and next week. For the other audio fiction shows featured, highlighted, and coming soon that were included in the 24th issue of The End, including links to listen to all the shows recommended in this episode, please visit theend.fyi. I'm Evo Terra. Thanks for listening.